All right, both teams getting their final preparations in. We're going to be 20-minute periods again. Ice cut after each one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Illinois State Hockey Championship. At this time, we ask you to please rise if you're able, remove your caps, and join us for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Little Jim Corneliuson to get us started. We're going to start out with Kushkowski, Bergeron. Yeah, I think Onak and Miller. We'll see who's going to join Kush and Berge. Oh, nope, change it up on me. It's going to be Kruger, Chilicki, and Paulo. Face off one by Fury. Paulo takes a cross check. Onak gets pinned. Kruger digs it out, sends it into the Storm zone. Storm knock it away and go up the near boards. Back up the side of the ice here, trying to get past Miller. Miller dumps it forward. Puck goes on Cutting. Paulo thought he had blocked it, but it went by him, hit off of Cutting, and then a good tie-up there on the backside. Puck comes out. No icing. Storm must have sent that through. Kushkowski, Reynolds come on the ice. Kruger changes. Bergeron comes on. Bergeron touches it over to Chris Gintis, and Aldridge now are on D. Cutting, pushes that puck to the back wall. Bergeron over to help Kushkowski. Kushkowski sends it to the corner. Puck over to Berge and up for Reynolds. Storm send it, and it goes behind Cutting and bounces over to the far board. Back again, dump it, and Storm get a change. Shot pushed to the corner by Cutting and then back up. Gintis knocks that puck over to Bergeron, and then Berge back to Gintis over to Paulo. Paulo gets a shot. No rebound. 18:36 to go in the first. Still 0-0. Paulo with not Paulo. It was Reynolds. Reynolds with an opportunity in front. Credidio, Nietzsche, and Letcher come on the ice. Puck underneath Letcher. Credidio helping to dig it out. Storm send it behind their goaltender. Credidio chasing to the corner. Puck goes up the boards, bounces, and over to Letcher. Letcher over to Campbell. Campbell and Rubicki on at D. Nietzsche up for Rubicki. Rubicki sends it back around. Letcher goes to get it. Storm try to chip it out. Campbell puts it lower on the boards. Nietzsche knocks Storm off of the puck and then dump back in. Nietzsche working in the corner, puck over to Letcher. Letcher finds Credidio. Credidio shoots, bounces off of the goaltender. He's fighting it today. Storm clear and get a change. Puck up to Nietzsche while Storm are changing. Nietzsche gets the shot, goes wide. Onak and Miller on it deep. Onak sends a bouncing puck into the corner. Carter comes on. Brown and Reynolds. Onak back to the back wall. Storm. Play it up. Puck misses. Brown up to challenge. Cross ice pass and a chip in by Storm. Miller into the corner. Puts it over for Onak. Onak chips forward, kept in by Storm. Shot in front. It's deflected, but hits the pad of cutting. We had a D change. Face-off comes out. Brown comes up again to give some pressure. Storm sent it in. Hits off of Carter. Brzgintis to Carter. Carter trying to tap that across for Reynolds. Puck goes underneath of him. Brzgintis pins. Aldridge to the corner. Brown chips it back to Aldridge. Aldridge taps it to Brzgintis. Puck bounces weird off the boards. Carter gets a hold of it and sends it up for Reynolds. Reynolds, good poke, but puck comes back. Storm tries to enter back in. Brown sends it out of the zone. Reynolds gives some pressure. Campbell is on for Brzgintis. Cutting leaves it behind. Picked up. Shot deflects wide again. Having a little trouble getting hold of the puck. Reynolds tries to send it out. Carter does get it to Reynolds. Reynolds and Brown. Reynolds brings it in deep. Brown goes for a change. Kruger is on. Chalicki comes on. Rybicki comes out of deep. Puck to Rybicki. Sends it around the boards for Kruger. Kruger pulls it off of the boards and into neutral ice. Dumped into the corner for Chalicki. Puck bounces to Kruger. Kruger centers it. Knocked to the back wall by Storm. Storm on the sideboard. Miller ties up. Chipped forward. Backhand shot hits the side of the net and back over to the corner. Shot in the middle, blocked by Paulo. 15:29 to go in the first. Storm trying to get it from behind cutting. Knocked away by Miller and Rybicki. Miller gets it up to Chalicki. Chalicki carries in. Over to Kruger. Kruger makes a move, gets past, puts the puck in front, almost goes 5-0, knocks to the back wall. Credidio comes on. Letcher comes on. Paulo takes a hard hit, puck to Miller. Miller gets it to Letcher. Paulo goes for a change. Nietzsche comes on. Aldridge comes on at D. Credidio tying up. Puck gets off of the sidewall and over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche sends it in. Letcher tags up. Storm in their own zone over to the far wall. Credidio comes in, pushes it to the corner. Puck underneath and behind the goaltender, and then Storm tries to send it around and goes out of play. Letcher, Credidio, Nietzsche, Aldridge, Brzgintis on the ice. 14:30 to go in the first. Face off to the sideboard. Letcher leaves it for Aldridge. Aldridge carries down. Uncontested. Tries to put a backhand stuff in there. Gets pushed over the sideboard. Big hit by Nietzsche. Knocks the puck loose. Aldridge comes over. Puck knocked back to Letcher. Over to Credidio, cross ice for Brzgintis, up to Nietzsche. Nietzsche gets through a couple, but puck knocked away. Storm trying to get past Letcher. Letcher gets a hit over to the near boards and up. Puck makes it all the way to the back wall, doesn't hit any of the rafters. Brzgintis picks up. Kushkowski comes on. Letcher giving some pressure. Hard to get away from. He's handling them, got it off the board. Reynolds is on the ice with this group. Letcher changes. Bergeron comes on. Reynolds knocks the puck away. Cross ice for Campbell. Campbell and Rubicki. Puck knocked away from Campbell. Krzyzkowski gets a stick on it and puts it back. Puck knocks off of Reynolds' stick. Rubicki comes off of the wall, comes in, makes a little bit of a slide move, and a shot hits off of the goaltender again. Get some rebounds in front here, so we got to keep shooting. Campbell reads that pass, pushes it back into neutral ice. Storm retreat into their own zone. Krzyzkowski goes for a flyby. Storm comes by. Brown comes on for Reynolds. Rubicki ties up. Puck on the sidewall. Storm put it behind cutting. Bergeron comes up, challenges the shot. Gets blocked in front. I'm not sure if that was Krzyzkowski or Rubicki that hit it. 12:37 to go. We got an icing. Kruger, Paulo, Chilicki come on the ice. Face off one back to Miller, over to Chilicki, up for Paulo, bounces off Paulo's stick. Storm push it off of the glass, goes to Miller, then Onak. Onak looking for Kruger. That misses, and that'll be icing. Paulo set to take the draw. Face-off pushed over to the sideboard. Storm dumps it to the corner. Paulo gets there, gets moved over to Miller. Miller moves the puck, takes a big hit, gets the puck to Chilicki. Chilicki looking for Kruger again, goes behind him. Paulo coming in hard. Storm escape and go through the neutral zone over onto the sideboard. They get an opportunity through the slot, save cutting. Paulo picks up the loose puck, gets it to Miller. Miller sends it over to Onak. Onak across for Chilicki. Chilicki dumps it in and changes. Reynolds and Brown come on. Aldridge and Priskintis. Carter is on. Over to Brown. Brown absorbs a hit but gets the puck in. Reynolds giving some pressure. Carter over on the sideboard, goes for the hit. Puck over to Reynolds. Reynolds trying to get it on his stick. Brown gets a knock on it. Carter comes back over to give a little bit of pressure. Storm back in their own zone. Puck over onto the sideboard. Aldridge knocks that puck. It goes in. Chris Gintis over to the corner. Brown back to help. Puck gets knocked back. Carter chips it over to the side. Storm send it back down into the corner. Aldridge kicks it forward. Puck bounces over to Brown. Brown settles it down. Gets it over to Reynolds. Reynolds back to Brown. Brown for Gintis. Brown. Oh! Great shot. Hit the post and goes out of play. Got to keep shooting. .10:31 to go. Still 0-0. Letcher, Nietzsche, Credidio, Rubicki, Campbell. Nietzsche wins that face-off to Letcher, gets it to Rubicki. Rubicki shot sails on him. I think it might have hit the top of the glove, but puck kept in over by Campbell. Campbell and Nietzsche get that puck to go back door. Letcher back to Campbell. Campbell shoots it. Oh, Credidio crossing through the crease goes just past Storm back in the zone. Puck hits off of, I think, Letcher and goes to the corner. Presidio harassing. Makes a move. That's Nietzsche to Letcher. Letcher sends it in, chips it. Kuszkowski comes on the ice. Puck over to the sidewall. Kuszkowski steals it. Bounces off of a couple people. Storm get it back, and they enter. Onak, big hit in the middle. Miller to Letcher. Letcher across for Kuszkowski. That'll go for icing. Bergeron, Reynolds, Kuszkowski on the ice. Onak and Miller at D. 9:28 to go in the first. Still 0-0. Puck gets pushed underneath Kuszkowski. He sends it to Bergeron. Bergeron sends it hard off of the wall into neutral ice. Stormer offsides. Miller to the corner. Behind cutting. Takes a look. Gets the puck up for Bergeron. Knocked back in by Storm. Onak giving some pressure. Cutting. Sees that pass coming. Knocks it to the corner. Onak chips up for Reynolds. Reynolds for Bergeron. Goes a little too far. Onak tries to pick that puck up. Storm have 3, but they couldn't get a handle on the puck, and it's knocked away by Reynolds. Onak chips over for Kuszkowski. Kuszkowski looking for Reynolds. Reynolds tries to backhand it on. It's cleared by Storm, and that should be icing. 8:34 to go. 8:33 to go. Kruger, Paulo, Chalicki come on with Aldridge and Chris Gintis. Puck won by Storm. They go behind their own goalie and up the far board. Storm going back to being on the boards here. Things that they can control. Puck over to the near line, over to Gintis. Gintis takes a vicious hit, and he's down. Puck is put in the zone, and we get a whistle. That was a really hard hit. He looks a little shaken up. He's gotten up. His head looks like it hurts. If I were on the ice, I would have called a boarding. I'm not the official. Second hit like that where we might lose a kid. Blauskis on Sunday night from a dirty hit. Rubicki and Campbell come on. Follow to Rubicki, cross ice for Campbell. Campbell sends it in. Chalicki tries to send that puck across. Storm bring into the zone. They get a shot. It bounces off of the pad of Cutting and over to the corner, tied up Kruger and Campbell. Campbell gets it up the board. Storm knock it back down. Chalicki comes to challenge. Storm dump it back into the middle of the ice. Rubicki knocks that puck down. Takes a reverse hit there off of Lenzi, the Storm player. Storm are offsides. They decide to dump. Miller up for Letcher. Letcher with a great move. Back to Presidio. Presidio taps it, but it goes above the net. Nietzsche off of the wall. Bounces into middle ice and out. Miller picks up the puck. Bounces off of the official. Onak now Moves past, carries the puck in, gets pinned on the wall. Storm send it over to the opposite corner. Nietzsche takes it for Letcher in the middle. Net gets knocked off. The official could have just moved the net back. It wasn't that far off. Reynolds, Kushkowski, Bergeron, Aldridge, and Campbell. First game, this is still getting checked out by the trainer. Kushkowski puts that puck over to Reynolds. Reynolds sends it up, but stopped by Storm. They go cross ice and through the neutral zone decide to chip in. A lot of dump and chase by the Storm. Up to the corner, Campbell pins it. Kushkowski over to help. Puck is still underneath, comes out to Kushkowski. Kushkowski tries to get it past the guy on the wall, and they Storm send it back behind cutting. Aldridge pins his man. Puck over to Kushkowski. Puck up for Reynolds. Reynolds splits the D. He's getting harassed. That broke the whole way. Reynolds giving some pressure. Miller pins his man against the wall, goes back to Onak. Nietzsche comes on the ice. Chips it behind the net. Predidio comes on. Onak pushes the guy off the puck. It goes back for Nietzsche. Nietzsche sends it hard around for Predidio. Letcher comes on. Cross ice for Letcher. Letcher with a toe drag backhand goes behind the net. Onak tries to center that one and gets knocked back to the corner. Letcher walks up and goes cross ice for Nietzsche. Puck gets knocked underneath Nietzsche and back into neutral ice. Miller picks it up. Miller sends it back in. Nietzsche and Predidio change. Paulo and Chalicki come on. Miller changes. Campbell comes on. Campbell to Rubicki. Up to Paulo. Paulo got the absolute penalty. That was a terrible no call. Paulo sends that in. Campbell changes. Chalicki changes. Reynolds comes back on. Storm side to ice. 4:06 to go. Reynolds, Bergeron, Kushkowski, Aldridge, Onak. Reynolds takes the draw. Push back over to Onak. Onak shoots, it goes high. Kushkowski. Storm playing a two-man game, it misses. Not calling anything today. Storm trying to go through the middle of the ice. Kushkowski gives a little tap, and they're offside. 3:39. Puck over to the side, dumped in by Storm. Storm centers, got a shot on Hutting, point blank. He saves another shot, hits the side of the net. Miller chips ahead for Nietzsche. Nietzsche battling in the corner. Storm get it free. Coming through the middle of the ice, decide to try to center it through the neutral zone, and it goes wide. Shot goes wide. Another shot wide of cutting. Picked up by Letcher. Letcher takes a quick shot. Miller sends it back to Letcher. Letcher has Rubicki. Rubicki's shot goes wide of the net. Gotta hit the net. Puck wraps around it, hit the net. All right, puck on the back of the net. Rubicki picks it up over a near board. Reynolds sends it in neutral ice. Storm regroup. Bergeron comes on. Kuszkowski steals that puck, gets it to Burge. Burge, quick shot. And that goes into the chest of the goaltender. 2:16 to go. Still 0-0. No rebound on that one. Storm control the face-off and go over to the far board. Puck stolen by Reynolds. Reynolds tries to shoot it. Gets a shot on pad. Bergeron shoots. It goes into the glove of the goaltender. Paulo, Chalicki, Kruger come on the ice. Paulo wins that back to Rubicki. Rubicki takes a shot. It's blocked. He's got it back. Another shot blocked. Goes behind the net. Paulo sends it back to Rubicki. Rubicki to Onak. Onak, quick shot. Deflects. Goes into the corner. Chalicki takes a hit. Storm come away with the puck up the sideboard. Storm dump it in. Rubicki picks it up. Tries to send it forward. Storm take it away. Rubicki gets interfered with. Puck bounces off of the glass. Hits off of Paulo. Storm get a shot. Goes off of the glass and over to the sideboard. Kruger trying to dig that puck out. Does. He gets taken down. And we will get a power play for that. Well, we're going to call a high stick. Stick hit Kruger. Minute 13 to go. We'll go on the power play. Storm, 2 minutes, high sticking. Paulo, Reynolds, Nietzsche, Onak, Letcher on the ice for this power play. Face off underneath Paulo. Storm send it out.
Number 22, Stan Lindsay.
Cutting puts it behind the net for Onak.
At 18:47.
Onak leaves it for Reynolds. Reynolds across for Nietzsche. Nietzsche cross ice for Reynolds. Storm get it out. Letcher to Onak. The ice is bad again. It's been bad all weekend. This puck's just not settling down. Onak back in. Centers. Reynolds with a quick shot. Puck gets back to Reynolds. He goes to Onak. Onak's got a lane. Decides to go down to Letcher. Letcher's shot. Over to Reynolds on the rebound. Reynolds sends it back down. 17 seconds to go in the period. Letcher gets it over to Onak. Onak tries to get a shot. He doesn't quite get all of it. Letcher knocks it away. Letcher's shot goes wide. Back over to Reynolds. Reynolds tries to get to it. 3 seconds. Storm are going to just take it down. And we'll go to ice cut. Tied 0-0. Couple good opportunities. A post We'll be back as soon as the exam is done.
Is that from Arkansas or Illinois? Illinois. All right.
You want to do it? You have a microphone?
Okay.
Sure? You probably know more about hockey than I do. Mike told me. Kralovic. Mike Kralovic told me.
I didn't see the game. It was number 16.
I think it was 20.
Ever since he won so much, like, he could flip the ice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's the change in mentality where it's always trying to hit the stretch pass and then reading what you actually have. Good to see Pulaski's out there skating. He's most likely not playing after that terrible hit he took on Sunday, but he is skating. He looks like he's in good spirits. We're going to have 47 seconds remaining of this power play. We have lost Chris Gintis for the remainder of the game. This Storm team is not just out to beat you, they're out to hurt you. Let's hope we get some help from the officials. We're going to start out with our power play unit: Nietzsche, Reynolds, Paulo, Letcher, Onak. Reynolds pushes that puck back for Letcher. Bounces away from Letcher. Storm bring it over. Onak knocks it away. Cross for Reynolds. Reynolds with speed through the middle of the ice. Gets past a couple with one. With a rebound in front. Kicked out by Storm. Reynolds hustling to get to that puck. Letcher sends it to the corner. Puck comes into the middle of the ice. Gets past a couple players. Storm sends it down. 17 seconds remaining on the power play. 9:26. Storm get a change. Onak for Miller. Miller drops for Paulo. Paulo shot gets deflected high. Campbell comes on. We're even. Letcher gets a shot. Hits off of the goaltender, gets knocked down. Storm take it behind the goaltender, bounces off and back over to Campbell. Campbell up for Kushkowski. Knocked away from Kushkowski. Bergeron is on the ice. Chalicki comes on. Puck past Miller and over to the far board. Storm send it up to the point. Back down low. Storm hit the side of the net.
Everybody clap your hands.
Officials checking the net. Kruger, Hollow. Puck gets past Kruger. Storm tried to send a shot on, but it's not strong enough. Hollow sends it up for Chalicki. Over to Rubicki. Rubicki's shot gets deflected in the back netting. Skirmish. Nothing doing on that. Just separate them out. Follow Kruger, Chalicki stay on the ice. Aldridge and Rubicki come on at D. Storm get kicked out for cheating on the face-off. Puck went over to Kruger. Kruger puts it to Aldridge. Aldridge's shot gets on net. Chalicki gets caught after again. Storm taking every opportunity to hit us. 18-20 to go in the second. Puck one back to Aldridge. Aldridge dumps it low for Kruger. Kruger gets rubbed out in the corner. Puck over to Paulo. Paulo tries to send it back in. Storm clear it. Rubicki sends it back in. Stopped by the Storm goaltender. Brown comes on. Storm put one through. It hits off of a skate. Kruger giving some pressure. Brown comes up to pressure. Storm chip and out of play. Reynolds, Carter, Onak, and Miller on the ice with Brown. Carter comes in to take the face off. He gets taken down. Puck gets pushed into Storm zone. Brown up to challenge. Puck hits off of a Storm player over to the sidewall. Reynolds sends it up. Gets past Brown. Carter tries to tie up. Storm take a little bit of a stumble. Put it back to Onak. Onak chips ahead for Reynolds. Reynolds and Brown. Reynolds, puck gets knocked away. Carter is there though. Carter centers, but it gets knocked to the back wall. Carter takes it away. Storm trying to get away from Carter. Carter gets a hit on. Brown comes over to help. Storm go behind. Carter gets tripped up. Storm chip back in. Cutting up for Reynolds. Over to Carter. Carter gets hooked. Onak to Reynolds. Reynolds' shot is blocked. Letcher comes on. Campbell is on. Campbell to Letcher. Nietzsche and Credidio are on the ice. Onak to Credidio. Credidio puts a shot in front. Over to Onak. Onak takes a hit. Nietzsche picks up the puck. Letcher one time. Puck goes low on the side of the net. Storm bring it out from behind their goaltender up the near board. back into the middle of the ice. They lose control of it and then try to get a pass over. Rubicki picks it up. We got a change going on Storm side. Rubicki to Campbell. Campbell up for Predidio. Predidio chips for Letcher. Bounces past Letcher. Letcher to the sideboard. Storm pick up the puck and bring it behind their goaltender. Puck back to the Storm. Cutting. Knocks it over to the sideboard. Letcher picks up the loose puck, flips it up, and it goes into the rafters. Aldridge and Onak come out at D. Chalicki, Kruger, Paulo. For our forward pairing, 15:40 to go in the second. Onak sends it up. It gets past Kruger. Storm send it back in. Paulo picks it up. Paulo carries forward. Shot off the side of the net. Puck behind. Kruger's there. Over to the corner. Paulo takes a vicious hit. Paulo gets clothesline. Paulo gets a clothesline with the stick. An absolute penalty. This officiating crew is awful. Puck sent back in. Over to Chalicki. Chalicki back for Aldridge. We're kind of watching. I don't know what we're doing here. Puck in front. Aldridge sends it to Kruger. Knocked away from Kruger. Storm send it back in. Puck in front, knocked to the side. Storm put it back behind over the opposite corner. Knocked away by Kruger. Finally cleared by Onak. How do you turn your back to that? It's going to happen. Reynolds, Bergeron, Kushkowski. Campbell, heads up! All right, puck into the stands. Do a face-off again. Puck over to Miller. Miller sends it hard around for Kushkowski. Bad bounce off of the boards. Storm pick it up in neutral ice. Campbell to Miller. Miller to Burge. Burge chips it in. Kushkowski hard to get it. Puck knocked over into neutral ice. Storm dump on Cutting. Cutting covers. And he gets snowed. So Storm snowed the goalie intentionally. I've seen penalties called for that as well. Some Bush League play right now. Nietzsche, Credidio, Letcher, Campbell, and Miller on the ice. Puck comes across for Letcher, picked up by Nietzsche. Nietzsche takes a hard hit, and then it's sat on for good measure. That's also a penalty. Letcher knocks that away. Nietzsche tries to send the puck in, it gets knocked out. Puck sent in, we tag up. Storm behind the goaltender. Puck knocked away, carried forward by Storm, tied up by Campbell. Predidio for Letcher. Letcher carries in, waits for Campbell. Campbell picks up the puck. Back to two amazing saves. The goaltender comes over and knocks Nietzsche down. His helmet comes off. Still, no official called that. The linesman carries him over to the box. None of the officials know what they're calling. And one of them decides to make a call and just says roughing. Unbelievable. We're going to go on the power play. Storm, after all of that 2 minutes ref. The ref is all chummy with the other group. Awful. Nietzsche, Letcher, Paulo, Reynolds, Onak. Puck one back to Reynolds. Reynolds for Letcher, back up to Onak. One-timer for Reynolds. The puck is still loose.
Welcome, 702.
Ref blows the whistle early. Quick whistle. Puck was definitely on the ice. He should have been able to see it. Puck to the corner. Storm send it up to Reynolds. Reynolds puts one in, goes into the glove of the goaltender. I gotta say, the goaltender for Storm has really stood on his head. A couple amazing saves. 12:38 to go in the period. Minute 40 on the power play. Storm got a change. We're going to keep our same power play. Puck knocked away from Paulo and into Fury zone. We're going to set up behind the goaltender. Letcher up for Paulo. Paulo sends it down for Reynolds. Paulo to Reynolds. Bounces past Onak. Minute 10 to go. Onak goes behind cutting. Reynolds picks it up. Puts it over to the sidewall. Letcher kicks it back in. Storm send it out up to Onak. Reynolds changes. Miller comes on. 43 seconds to go. Campbell comes on. Letcher still with the puck. To Paulo. Up to Campbell. Cross for Miller. Miller in front gets knocked away. He knocks the puck over to Letcher. Letcher to Campbell. Back to Miller. Miller's other shot gets blocked. Shalicki comes on. Puck in front. Storm try to send it out. Paulo gets a stick on it. Paulo sends it across for Kruger. Kruger's shot into the stomach of the goaltender. That one looked like it might have hurt him a little bit. Four seconds to go. Kruger, Kuszkowski, Chalicki, Campbell, and Miller. 11:02 remaining in the second. Kuszkowski gets kicked. Kruger's going to come in. Kruger wins it back to Miller. Miller, quick shot. Puck deflects wide. Kuszkowski in the corner with Chalicki. Storm come out of the box. 5-on-5 hockey resumes. 10:49 to go. Storm send it around. Kruger gets there, keeps it in. Back down low for Kuszkowski. Kuszkowski comes around, tries to put one through the middle, hits off with some skates. Kuszkowski gets it back. Miller tries a pass for Kuszkowski, gets knocked away. Chalicki gets a hold of it. Chalicki to Campbell. Campbell back to Chalicki. Chalicki sends it around. Kruger's tied up. Finally breaks free. Storm get a hold of it. Kuszkowski on the sideboard. Takes a hit. Puck knocked away from Kruger. Storm put it to the corner. Puck winds up behind Cutting. Campbell battling on the back wall. Centering pass. Knocked away. Shot blocked in front by Campbell. Campbell gets the puck over to Kruger. Kruger back to Campbell. Campbell gets hooked. No call. Kruger and Campbell holding the puck down. This is how Storm likes to play. They want to slow you down. They want to pin the puck and wait for a mistake. Puck comes out. Storm dig it out. They get it cross ice. It comes out of the zone. Puck dumped back into the zone. Miller is there. Storm battling against Miller. Kruger sends the puck up for Kuszkowski. Puck comes out of the zone. Storm regroup. High stick. Storm tried to slash Campbell's stick to get him to touch the puck. 9:04 to go. High stick is called on the puck. We're going to come all the way back down. Letcher, Nietzsche, Predidio on the ice. Puck underneath some feet. Predidio tries to send it back in. Storm send it across. Rubicki is there. He dumps it in. Nietzsche goes to get it. We got away with a trip there. Storm dump it back in. Puck knocked away. Nietzsche carries it forward. Storm regroup. Puck brought in. Goes behind Cutting. Rubicki sends it up for Letcher. Letcher waits. Takes a hit, but gets the puck over to Predidio, who is offsides. I don't think he realized that he was offsides there. They're going to call it intentional. Could you slide over just like 6 inches? Puck off the back wall. Storm tries stuff attempt. It hits off of Cutting. Puck is cleared. Kruger misses off of the boards, and that goes for an icing. 7:59 remaining in the second. I'm sorry. I can't get the corner. If you could just move over just like 4 seconds, that'd be great. Puck underneath Paulo gets knocked to the corner. Onak sends it across for Chalicki. Misses Chalicki, bounce off the board. Storm send it back up on the far side board. That looked like offsides, but waved by the linesman. Puck bounces, hits the linesman. Storm pick it up off of the side. It hits off of their stick. Puck up for Chalicki. Chalicki and Kruger. Kruger gets tied up. Another rebound, 2 rebounds off of this goaltender. He really is fighting it today. Reynolds comes on. Puck gets put on cutting. And no rebound. 7:16 remaining in the second. You can Puck over to Rybicki. Campbell to Kushkowski, taken away. Storm trying to pass across. And Kush is going to go for a penalty. So Kushkowski, 2 minutes tripping. 7:05 to go in the period. Paulo, Reynolds, Rybicki, and Campbell come out. Face-off pushed back to Storm's D. They go over to the sideboard. Shot gets blocked in front. Over to Campbell. Campbell clears the puck. Storm over to the far side again. Send it hard around. Bounces awkwardly off, and Cutting decides to cover it.
Hearing penalty number 74, Kevin Kuchkowski.
Fletcher, Ricci, Onak, and Aldrich on the ice.
Kuchkowski, 2 minutes tripping at 12:55.
Ready, boys!
Cleared by Nietzsche. Fletcher comes forward to give pressure. Storm sent it over to the far side. Puck over, knocked away from Storm. Aldrich clears. Minute 20 to go in the kill. Storm, drop pass. Fletcher reads it, takes it away, sends it back for Aldrich. That's going to waste some time here. Minute 3 to go. Aldrich tries to clear it, hits the Storm player. Storm on the back wall. Puck goes across. Aldrich out the challenge. Onak battling in front. Puck bounces off of the glass. Storm. Jam one home on the power play. 5:39 to go in the second. Storm up 1. Miller, good read, knocks the puck away, carries forward. Chalicki shoots, goes into the stomach of the goaltender. 5:24 to go in the period.
Scored by number 23, Brennan Hosick. Assist by number 2, Tyler Bearden. And number 22, Sam Muncie. At 14:21. Scoring goals scored by Hosick. Assisted by Karen and Lindsay.
I see Bruce Gintis. Storm trying to get the puck out of his glove. Decides to cover. Miller, Kushkowski, puck in front, hits off of Bergeron, goes wide. Reynolds tries to dump that back. Storm get a hold of it. Storm have two. Miller takes the pass. Puck bounces off of Cutting. Cutting stands strong, stops all stuff attempts, and we get a whistle. 4:59 to go. Nietzsche, Letcher, Credidio come on the ice. Aldridge and Rubicki. Fisher's calling a hand pass. That should come out of the zone, shouldn't it? Shouldn't that have come out if he called a hand pass? Sir? Shouldn't that have come out of the zone if he called a hand pass?
Well, I thought it was
He was going like this. Puck clears up to Nietzsche. Credidio sends it in, we tag up. Storm try to put it in, Nietzsche clears it out. Puck bounces off of the back wall. Rubicki from behind Cutting. Up to Nietzsche. Nietzsche. He touched it. All right, so icing's called. Paulo comes out with Kruger and Chalicki. Onak and Miller at D. Puck to the corner. Storm get there first, send it hard around. Kept in, sent down behind Cutting. Moves over to the corner. Miller. Battling. Puck underneath Miller, still working. That comes loose to Onak. Good job by Miller. Puck is going to go down for an icing. Kruger gets to that puck. He's got Chalicki with him, but doesn't take the puck with him. And we're offside. Same person out. Puck goes into Cutting's glove. No rebound. 3:33 to go in the second. Reynolds, Kushkowski, Bergeron on the ice. Kushkowski in the corner. Storm knocked that puck up. They go cross ice. Bergeron gets there, gets the puck out. Knocked forward. Storm behind their goaltender. Drop it. Reynolds is there, picks it up. Reynolds to Campbell. Puck is still loose. Net is knocked off. Puck wound up underneath the goaltender. Reynolds, quick shot, goal! Face off right back by Kushkowski to Reynolds. Reynolds gets a quick shot, beats him left side. And we're all tied up with 3 minutes to go in the second. Reynolds with a big goal. Nietzsche, Letcher, Cordero on the ice. Puck pushed back to Onak. Onak for Cordero. Cordero shot. Letcher takes a cross check. No ball. Onak hard off the glass. That's going to go all the way down for icing. Kruger, Chalicki, and Paulo are going to come on. Shot gets blocked in front, goes over to the sideboard. Onak gets there, sends it up for Kruger. Kruger to Chalicki, bounces away from Chalicki. Storm trying to clear it. Kruger still has it. Kruger's shot is blocked and then sent out. Onak carries forward. Shot off of the mask of the goaltender. Back over to Storm. They go cross ice. Storm dump in, bounces off of the back wall and hits the back of the net. Puck gets knocked over to Chalicki. Chalicki gets pinned, comes free, but blocked by Onak. Aldridge to Chalicki, touch pass to Paulo. Paulo and Kruger. Paulo sends it in. Kruger goes to get it. Paulo changes. Reynolds, Kushkowski come on. Puck hits off of Storm. Bergeron comes on. Puck knocked behind Cutting. Miller tries to chip it past. He does get a stick on it. Goes up the board. Storm look for a centering pass. They have to keep it in. They send it back down low again. Storm are going to stay on the boards until they think they can get one in the middle. Coming around, across, blocked, another block. Kushkowski knocks that puck to Reynolds, and the net is off. You're good. No, you're okay. Puck pushed back to Aldridge. Letcher and Aldridge on the boards. 45 seconds to go in the period. Onak puts it over to Paulo. Onak gets a rough ride, but the puck comes up. Nietzsche. Shot gets deflected and out of play. 30 seconds to go in the period. Paulo, Letcher, Nietzsche, Rubicki, and Campbell for this 30 seconds. Letcher digs it out, tries to send it across, bounces off of a Storm player's skates. Puck flipped up high for Paulo. Paulo tries to shoot, goes into the goaltender's glove. Rubicki puts it low, goes wide, 10 seconds. Puck comes back across. Storm clear, it bounces to Campbell, 3 seconds, he's going to eat it. And that's the end of the second period. We're tied 1-1 after the goal from Reynolds.
Everybody said they were going to bring their jersey. They said everybody's bringing it out.
Hey, you want me to go steal the cup like the older experience did last year?
Where did they find it?
I don't know. I have no story anyway, but yeah, we had to skate with another cub.
Oh! Adam, you have to
That shot counter can't be right. 26-9. All right, coming back for the third period. We're waiting for the officials. We're going to set up with Bergeron, Krzyzkowski, Reynolds, Onak, and Miller to start the third. Face-off pushed back to Miller, over to Onak. Onak up for Kush. It hits off of Kush. Storm send it back into neutral ice. Onak sends it in on the goaltender. Misplay by Storm. Krzyzkowski winds up with it, trying to get the puck down. Puck up to Bergeron. He tries to chip it on net. It gets knocked to the corner. Storm cross ice again. Put one into the corner and go to get it. Puck comes out. Miller sends it back to the corner. Thank goodness. Bergeron comes out. Storm misplay. Krzyzkowski chips it into neutral ice. Puck goes underneath. Miller to Reynolds. Reynolds in the corner. Kruger comes on. Nietzsche is on. Campbell, Rubicki at D. Kruger and Chalicki and Paulo come on. Paulo takes the faceoff, goes over the boards. Rubicki picks it up, sends it across for Campbell. Campbell up for Kruger. Kruger chips that in. Paulo and Chalicki come down to get to it. Kruger pins his man in the corner. Kicked out by Storm. Over back to the back net. Up to the near board and brought off by Storm. 3 men for Storm all on this side watch. Centering attempt does make its way to Cutting, and he covers. Predidio, Letcher, Nietzsche on the ice. 18-11 to go in the third. Face off. Goes into neutral ice. Storm knock it over to the far board and carry in. Presidio knocks man off the puck, and then it comes up for Letcher, but Presidio sends it across. Aldridge sends it up. Puck hits off of Onak. His is back on the bench here. He's probably not playing, but he's here. Storm, chip in, puck goes down and behind Cutting. Aldridge plays it up for Presidio. Presidio sends it across, and that's going to go for an icing. I think he was looking for Letcher, but it was a little too far. Koszkowski, Reynolds, Bergeron on the ice. Miller and Hamlet. Face off to Storm. They got a shot that goes wide of the net. Face off over the sideboard. Comes up to Reynolds. Reynolds trying to move it up through neutral ice, taken away by Storm. Over to the far side board. Drop pass left, but nobody was there. Koszkowski ties up. Bergeron tries to send it in. Comes back out to neutral ice, but Koszkowski picks it up, sends it back to Campbell. Campbell up for Burge. Burge taps it in. It goes to the corner. Reynolds goes in. Puck comes off to Koszkowski. Quick shot. Koszkowski goes wide. Campbell keeps it in. Sends it back down and around. Koszkowski comes over. Bergeron comes over. Storm sends it up to Miller. Chalicki comes on the ice. Puck.
Get in the zone!
Trying to send it in. Miller picks up, goes behind Cutting, sends it around for Chalicki. Kruger and Paulo join Chalicki. Chalicki up to Paulo. Paulo hits a stick of Storm and it goes out of play. Paulo wins that face-off to Chalicki. Chalicki taps to Aldridge. Cross ice for Rubicki. Rubicki sends it down low. Comes around, back up the sideboard. Kruger gets there. Kruger trying to settle a puck down centers for Chalicki. Gets knocked away. Chalicki with a hit. Puck over to the near board. Paulo gets knocked off. Storm dig it out. They chip in on Cutting. Cutting covers. Presidio, Letcher, and Nietzsche come back on. Storm get kicked out. Face off push behind Nietzsche. Onak sends it to Letcher. Letcher stick puck bounces off Letcher's stick. Storm behind Cutting. Quick punch turned by Storm. Looking for somewhere to go. Decides to go cross. Presidio is there. Presidio's got Nietzsche. Nietzsche absorbs a hit. Puck gets knocked away. Letcher comes forward. Up the near board for Storm and in. Miller and Onak are on at D. Onak tries to get that up. It hits the official. The official's in the way. Presidio tips that up. It goes to Letcher. Letcher goes across for Miller. Miller sends the puck up. Storm. Kushkowski comes on the ice. Storm keep that in. Kushkowski comes forward. Puck gets deflected. Goes over to the corner. Miller gets a stick on it. Storm send it back. Kushkowski, good stick, gets it out. Letcher gets a change. Bergeron comes on. Puck off of Hutton. Presidio clears it. And that'll go for icing. 14-13 to go. Presidio changes. Bergeron comes on. And Reynolds is on as well. 14:30 to go in the third, still tied 1-1. Kushkowski to take the face-off. Rubicki sends it around, but not far enough. Storm get there first. Out from underneath Rubicki's feet. Storm up to the D. Bergeron challenging. Puck misses its pass. Kushkowski sends it to Burge. Burge to Rubicki. Rubicki gets it to center ice and dumps it in. Reynolds goes to get it. Storm turn it over to Reynolds. Reynolds still with it. Puts it in front. Bergeron is there. He gets tripped. We're going to go on the power play. But with 13:40 to go in the game, Fury go to the power play as Storm 2 minutes for tripping. And they're going to put the captain in. Nietzsche, Paulo, Letcher, Reynolds, and Onak on the ice. Puck goes across. Storm trying to clear. Onak kicks it back in. Storm do clear on the second attempt. Minute 50 to go on the power play. Reynolds picks it up. Reynolds goes to his forehand. Comes back through the middle. Tries to get a shot. It gets knocked away. Reynolds loses an edge. He gets back up. Storm clear. Cutting leaves that puck for Onak. 1:28 to go. Onak leaves it for Letcher. Letcher drops for Onak. Miller comes on. Onak gets through. Puck gets knocked away and Storm clear again. Kushkowski, Kruger, Campbell come on. Letcher changes. Chalicki comes on. Kushkowski sends it to the corner. Goaltender plays it. Storm try to clear. It does get past Miller. Miller to Campbell. Campbell to Kushkowski. 43 seconds to go. Chalicki sends it in. Kruger to the back wall. Kushkowski trying to help. Storm clear again. Cut it. Plays it forward for Miller. Storm were in the middle of the change. Miller carries it in. Puck gets sent around. Chalicki comes over. Storm hits it out. Cutting's going to come out to play it. Campbell gets a stick. Luckily, the Storm was going to be able to get a hold of that. They send it all the way back onto the goal. 8 seconds. That'll be the end of that. Paulo, Brown, Carter on the ice. Storm setting up. Carter comes over. Pushes the puck off. Brown and Paulo on the sidewall. Storm still winds up with it somehow. Centering attempt goes over the sidewall. Brown chips it. Storm back door. Storm take the lead with 11:21 to go. Kushkowski, Reynolds, and Bergeron come on the ice.
Whitney City Storm goal, scored by number 20, Matthew Bassano. Assist to number 3, Adam Proctor. At 8:39.
Storm put it back behind Cutting. Center gets knocked away. Onak picks it up. Puck over to Bergeron. Kushkowski sends it in. Onak changes. Campbell comes on. Campbell brings it around. Tries a stuff attempt. Kushkowski and Bergeron and Reynolds both get taken down. Presidio, Letcher, and Nietzsche on the ice with Rubicki and Campbell. Puck back out to the neutral ice. Rubicki to Campbell. Campbell sends it in. Presidio with a big hit. Puck back door for Paulo. Paulo chips it, goes behind the net. Storm rub Paulo out and then get past Rubicki. Presidio backchecking hard. Puck hits off of Cutting. Storm get it back, blocked by Rubicki. Campbell tries to get it, gets the stick lifted. Storm on the back wall. Presidio with a nice hit. Campbell over. Presidio trying to dig that puck out. Puck goes to the corner. Nietzsche goes to get it. Nietzsche got 3. Over to Letcher. Letcher, shot goes wide over to the near board. Letcher in the neutral zone. Puts it forward for Nietzsche. Nietzsche tries to tip it over for Miller. Sends it back in. Storm up the near board. Turn over to Miller. Miller flips it up. Storm trying to get it past Miller. So if he does, then they're going to call offside. 9:20 to go in the game. Storm have a 1-goal lead. Hollow, Kruger, Chalicki, Onak, Miller. Puck knocked into neutral ice after the face-off. Storm pick it up, try to get past Miller, can't, and they go back over to the boards. Miller for Chalicki. Chalicki loses his stick. Sailing shot goes over Cutting. Puck is cleared. Storm sends it back in. Miller picks it up. Over for Paulo. Hits the official. Storm send it on the boards. Kruger is there. Kruger to Onak across for Chalicki. Paulo Bergeron. Kushkowski. Storm send that down, and there's icing. 8-18. Bergeron, Reynolds, Kushkowski, Rubicki, and Campbell to take the faceoff. Puck underneath gets pushed into the corner. Bergeron gets tripped up. Puck is knocked back on the goaltender, and you get a cover. Puck to the corner. Storm try to put it up the sideboard. It gets knocked down. Bergeron sends it back in. Reynolds gets a shot. It gets blocked. He gets it back up to Campbell. Campbell shot into the glove of the goaltender. Nietzsche, Credidio, and Letcher come back on the ice. Onak and Aldridge at D. Puck over to Onak. Onak in front for Credidio. Credidio tips it just wide of the net. Nietzsche sends that back into the corner. Storm send it up the boards. Letcher knocks it away. Storm trying to get past. It goes for icing. 7:31. We'll go all the way back. Same personnel. Storm dig that face-off out underneath some skates. It bounces off the boards to Aldridge. Aldridge sends it back for Letcher. Letcher across for Onak. Onak puts one off of the board. Letcher tried to get a shot off. He just couldn't quite get to it. Storm, puck hits off of Nietzsche, goes back down. Letcher's got it. Cordillo's in the middle. Hits off of Storm skater and put back down. Storm chip it up. Over to Onak. Onak puts it forward for Letcher. Goes back into the Storm zone. Nietzsche comes forward. Storm content to play keep away for now. 6:42 to go. Onak takes it away. Onak shot. It's in front. Nietzsche gets bulldozed into the goaltender. Kruger puck goes out of play. Storm hit the rafters. We'll get an in-zone face-off. 6:25 to go. Storm still up 2-1. Paulo, Kruger, Chalicki, Miller, Campbell. Paulo digs that out. It hits Chalicki. Storm tried to send it. Paulo picks it up. It goes to Chalicki. Chalicki didn't take the puck with him. Storm got a shot. It goes into cutting.
Let's go!
6:10 to go. Face off. It's going to be on the glove side of cutting. Campbell and Chalicki run into each other. Storm send the puck over to the sideboard. Campbell in the corner, up for Paulo. Two Storm players able to dig it out. Shot hits the pad of cutting, and we send that puck out of play. Bergeron, Kuchkowski, and Reynolds come back out. Storm get kicked out of the dot. Kuchkowski. Face-off is dropped underneath. He sends it to the corner. Bounces off of the boards back to Storm. Backdoor. Storm get a shot. Puck is loose. Cleared by Rubicki. That's number 16. Holding down putting. Faceoff comes outside. 5:36 to go. Faceoff controlled by Storm. They go D to D and then through the middle, back over to the side. Rubicki tries to get that puck out, kept in. Another shot hits off the pad of cutting. Rubicki puts that forward for Reynolds. Hits the linesman. Kuchkowski drops it for Reynolds. Reynolds' shot goes wide. Kuchkowski puts it in front. Goaltender knocks the net off. Nietzsche, Presidio, and Letcher come back on. Onak and Miller. Storm work through the neutral zone and bring the puck in. Miller picks it up, sends it around for Letcher. Letcher makes some room for himself, finds Onak. Onak over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche tries to shoot one in, it gets blocked. Predidio's shot off of the glove goes over the net. Miller to Letcher. Letcher puts it forward for Nietzsche. Storm get to it. Try to escape in the corner. Presidio knocks the puck over. Quick pass and through the neutral zone for Storm. Onak takes Storm down. Miller and Nietzsche go the other direction. Storm carry in. Presidio comes over, knocks the puck away. Puck to the corner. Storm still with it. Miller up off the glass. Storm send it back to the corner. Presidio takes a hit, sends the puck around. Miller ices the puck with 3:45 to go. Kruger, Hollow, Chalicki, Rubicki, and Campbell on the ice. Paulo tries to send that puck up. It gets knocked back down by Storm. Kruger gets it out. Storm sends it back in on Cutting. Cutting plays it off of the glass to Kruger. Misplayed. Paulo picks it up. He's got Chalicki with him. Puck goes across. Gets deflected by Storm. They pick it up and bring it through the neutral zone. Aldridge knocks the puck away. Puck to the corner. Storm send it up. Send it back down on the boards. Storm are just going to eat the time away as much as they can. They're trying to stay on the boards. Puck hits off of Kruger. Storm send it back around. And back down low. Storm back up again. Puck goes on Cutting and knocks into the net. Reynolds, Bergeron, Kuszkowski on the ice. Kuszkowski sends that puck to the sideboard. Miller sends it up. Storm take a shot. It hits off of their own player. Puck goes on Cutting. Still loose. And blown down. Storm win that faceoff and send it around behind Cutting. Kuszkowski goes to get it. Kuszkowski in the corner. Chips it ahead for Bergeron. Bergeron gets it off of the wall to Miller. Miller to Reynolds. Reynolds to Berge. Berge shot goes wide. Storm cleared. And that'll be icing. 2:15 to go. We got an in-zone faceoff. And we take a timeout. All right. Goalie is pulled. We've got Nietzsche, Reynolds, Letcher, Paulo, Onak, Campbell. Face off underneath, dug out by Letcher. Over to Campbell. Campbell back to Onak. Onak shot. Still loose. Still loose. Oh! Oh, ties it up. Oh, with a huge goal. Some deliberation right now, though. There's an argument from Storm Captain. And it's no good. So we're going to stay with the tie. I only saw purple jerseys in the crease, so I'm not sure what the complaint was. Nietzsche, Reynolds, Letcher on the ice. Miller to Onak. To Reynolds tried to go to Miller, who was streaking down the ice. It gets deflected by Storm. They're in the corner now, looking for somewhere to go. Knocked away. Nietzsche sends it up. Reynolds, good stick with Reynolds and Letcher. Over to Letcher. Yeah! Letcher! Unbelievable. Minute 27 to go. Letcher with a huge goal. Unbelievable play. And it's 3-2. Timeout, Storm. Time and time again, Letcher has come up with a clutch goal. Great play by Danny, great play all together. Reminiscent of the Mission game. Letcher sealed it on that one as well. Paulo came up huge in that game with a great forecheck. And Paulo comes up with a tying goal here, and Letcher with the go-ahead goal. Little Journey being played right now. Reynolds, Nietzsche, Letcher, Onak, Campbell on the ice.
And number 2, Ethan Miller.
Face-off controlled by Storm. They go D to D. Puck hits off of Reynolds' stick. Storm dump it back in. Minute 12 to go. Onak takes a hit. Nietzsche takes a hit. Letcher blocks the shot. Storm have the goalie pull. Shot blocked by Letcher. Puck to the back wall. Nietzsche tries to tie up in the corner. He gets taken down. Storm. 48.5 seconds to go. 3-3. Kushkowski, Paulo, Chalicki. 48.5 seconds to go. Storm got kicked out again. D for Storm. They decide to come up the ice go wide. Rodak over the challenge. The pass in the middle, deflected, back over to Chalicki. Chalicki to Kushkowski. Come backed away by Storm. They come over to the near board, up the glass. That will be icing. 26 seconds to go. Kushkowski, Chalicki, Paulo, Miller, and Onak. Puck is tied up. Storm get it out. 20 seconds to go. Puck's on cutting over to Onak. Onak for Kushkowski. Misses Kushkowski's stick, and that'll be icing. Nietzsche's going to come back on. Fletcher, Reynolds. 12.6 seconds to go, still 3-3. Reynolds takes the faceoff. Storm gets kicked out. Faceoff, one back. Storm, go on the sideboard, put one in front, it gets blocked. Onak picks it up, we've got 3. Onak, Reynolds, Fletcher, puck to Reynolds. Reynolds shot, hits off the blocker. And that'll do it for regulation. We're going to OT. So we get an ice cut, and we'll be back. They're checking the rules. Ice cut.
Get your shit together, rats.
They might actually.
I don't remember the rules. I think it. I feel like it is an ice cut, and then no ice cuts between subsequent OTs.
Is it 5-on-5?
5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3s.
Wait, what do you mean 5-on-5
For OT, 10 minutes. And then
good.
4, then 3, then shootout. All right, we're going ice cut, and we'll be back.
Yeah, I assume PJ told everybody already. Hey, can I get a pull off that thing?
Yeah, right.
So, OT rules explained. It'll start 5-on-5. It'll be 10-minute OT. If nobody scores, it's sudden death. It'll go to the next OT. There won't be an ice cut in between OTs. It'll go to 4-on-4. After that 10-minute, if nobody scores, it'll go to 3-on-3. If nobody scores after that, The rules say shootout. I don't know if they'll do that in a final. Will they do a shootout in the final? Because it used to be in years past, it just kept going OT. Yeah, they were saying that in the group chat. Who they got for the game winner?
I had a few. Like I got Bergie. There might be
He's been close.
It was close. I was like, well, you guys are trying to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Yeah, Brady hit the post right out of the gate.
I was like, that's a great shot.
Yeah. I mean, this goalie's really stood on his head. He's had some amazing saves.
He had double. At one point, it was 34-17.
Yeah.
That close in the game, we had double the shots.
Right.
I'm getting some TSD from like Canada US. 6 shots on it.
Yeah. I mean, if it's going to be big game goals, a good bet is going to be Nietzsche, Letcher, or Reynolds.
I think Reynolds
But
has scored, I think, basically every goal. That same shot, same top corner.
That's his goal, yeah.
It's a great goal. You had a great shot. Got one ref that hasn't blown his whistle at all. Another ref made one call after like 7 punches to the head. He's like, I gotta call something. The other guy's not doing shit.
No. I don't know how they're so bad. All of them have been bad.
Probably a little bit like, oh, it's playoff hockey.
It's probably some of that, and it's probably also they don't want to be the one that impacts the game. And for the most part, I mean, they have let them play. Yeah.
Where do they use it?
There's that one rink, the single sheet.
Rolling Meadows or something? Or,
They did play Rolling Meadows too. That was a single sheet with that giant concrete stands.
Yeah. Some of these rinks up this way, we never went to after Hawks, so I was like, I was saying, this is Lawson's 4th state final. And if we win, this is hat trick with the Fury. State final wins.
Oh wow!
I was like, feel free to be a hero and get yourself. And he's like,
Brady's got a state B championship, a state AA championship. So.
Yeah, they won both times in Pee Wee, and then they lost Mission Branson Minor, and then he's played other teams until
Sure.
The 2 guys he won with are Jumsky and Trodes that were.
Oh really? Paulo, Chalicki, Kruger, Onak, Miller to start OT. Storm put out every big guy they got. Puck over to Kruger, sends it up for Chalicki. Chalicki enters, taken away by Storm. They try to send it down. Onak puts it across. We're offsides. Paulo tags back up. Storm through the neutral zone. Onak ties up. Back door. They try to get a backhand shot. It gets knocked out over to Kruger. Kwiatkowski comes on for Paulo. Reynolds is on. Bergeron is on. Reynolds. Shot deflects into the netting. Puck comes up to Campbell. Campbell to Reynolds. Reynolds puts it underneath. It goes on net. Pushed to the corner. Kwiatkowski comes over. Puck up the sideboard. Tried to tap out. Reynolds puts it back to the corner. Storm up the sideboard. Kept in by Rybicki. Storm get it down and flip it out of play. Puck's going to go all the way back down. Michi, Credidio, Letcher on the ice. Oh, they did 20-minute period. All right, must be a little different for a championship game. 1836. Sorry. It's gone so long, my battery's almost dead. Onak. Storm, send it in on Cutting. Cutting pushes it over to the corner. Onak picks up. Sends it across to Credidio. Credidio holds it on the boards. Makes the move and gets the puck moved up the ice and dumped in. Onak comes over to keep it. Miller comes on the ice. Credidio back to Letcher. Letcher looking for Nietzsche. Knocked out by Storm, and that'll go for icing. 17:51 to go. Kruger, Chalicki, Paulo going to come back on. Campbell is going to join Miller. Storm hit that out. All argue for a neutral zone faceoff. Powell wins that back to Miller. Miller to Campbell. Campbell sends it down and misses and goes for an icing. 17:41 to go. Storm from behind cutting. Center. Misplayed, knocked away by Kruger. Puck goes out into the neutral zone. Puck on the sideboard, Campbell battling. Puck comes out. Miller gets it into the neutral ice. Bergeron comes up. Turnover to Bergeron. Bergeron carries in. Shot is deflected. Storm pick it up. Kuszkowski is on with Reynolds. Puck sent around. Cutting, slows it down for Aldridge. Aldridge and Rybicki on the ice. Kuszkowski misses it. Reynolds lifts a stick, but Storm push it back in. Storm have three. Shot blocked by Rybicki. Big block by Rybicki there. Puck goes all the way down for icing. 16:39 to go. Nietzsche, Credidio, Letcher. Face off, pushed over to Rybicki. Rybicki to Letcher. Letcher was a touch pass for Nietzsche. Storm got a point-blank shot. Luckily, it deflects high. Another opportunity, Cutting with the save. Reynolds is going to come back on. Kuszkowski and Bergeron. 16:20 remaining in OT. Should say the first overtime. Face off, controlled by Storm, and they turn it over to Reynolds. Reynolds shot almost bumps over that pad of the goaltender. Storm back the other way. Knocked away by Bergeron. Kuszkowski picks it up, sends it up the boards. He's got Reynolds. Misses Reynolds. That'll go for icing. 15:57, 15:56 to go. Kruger, Paulo, Chalicki come on. Storm, slap shot off of Cutting. They pick up the rebound. Another shot off of Cutting. Another. After a hard-fought game, Storm come away with it in OT. Well fought Fury. Second place state.
Woodley City Storm goal, scored by number 22, Sam Quincy. Assisted by number 86, Adele Ahmadi. And number 23, Brennan Hudson. Time of the goal, 4:14 in overtime. Goal scored by Lindsay, assisted by Ahmadi and Hudson at 4:14. Can we please have the captain of the Chicago Fury come to the sunrise to accept the banner? The captains of the Chicago Fury, please come to the center to accept the banner. A round of applause, please, for the Chicago Fury. And now will the captains of the Whitney City Storm please step up to the camera to announce the banner and trophy.
right. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for watching all season. There's always great. Appreciate you following along.